This is what I want all of y'all to do. That's been following me for a while that understands what's going on. I know none of us is perfect, but there's people out there in this world. Even though none of us is perfect, but there's people out there who would go to certain lengths and do certain things to try to harm somebody. And there's people, groups, who will go to lengths. Even if a person is innocent, there's people out here who would try to tap in, even pay to do stuff to somebody, whether they're innocent or not. And they be picking a target, whoever it is, right, to sacrifice it. This is why I keep saying stop playing with this stuff, right? And y'all know who they are, right? You know exactly who the gang stalkers are. You know who the covens are. You know who the occultists are. You know who the dark witches, the dark warlocks are. You know the energy vampires. You know who they are. From those in your family to those in your community, who you work with. When you go outside, you see who is who, right? Spiritually. Once you stop looking at people as people, you understand. This is what I want y'all to do when you see what God wants you to see. Okay? See, I gotta say this again. Because there's people out here who try to do witchcraft, magic, voodoo, spells. Either they have a jar, do what they do, and they throw it in the sea, or they do black magic on somebody, or they pay money to do it on certain people. And this exists. They do things to people. They pay it, or they try to work, pray, candles, and they chant. But people don't understand. And they so quick to just, let's just tap in, let's start to do this work. They don't know who is who. And they don't know that the work is going to be sent back. They don't know who they're doing it to. So this is what I want y'all to do. Because it's getting real out here. And there's a lot of people who starting to see. They're starting to see. And when I mean see, they're starting to understand and know that there is a higher power above what they're trying to do. They're understanding now. They're looking at you. I'm gonna tell it to you like this. You know about all this stuff, right? I told you, recognize the faces. You can see it on people. If you so happen to walk into your community and you so happen to start bumping into certain people or hearing things, but you walk into your community and you start seeing a certain flyer or something about a certain individual and you see a familiar face and you see a certain face in a group that just passed away, don't laugh at it. Don't laugh at it. Just do this. I heard a honk in between. You can replay that. Just do this. Just do this. Don't laugh at nothing. All the gang stalkers, all those in the cults, all those that's coming out from the dark, the lowest of the lows, that's trying to do what they're doing to innocent people or trying to mess with somebody or send things to people. When you walk by and you start seeing flyers of familiar faces being deceased on posters that's dying from, when you start seeing that, just do this. Don't laugh, don't say a word. Keep going about your day. Just do this. I promise you and I guarantee you, those involved and those that knew what they were doing in the group, those in the group amongst themselves that do the dark shit in the dark, sacrifice, you know what I'm saying? With blood, like those involved, what they do in the dark, though, with their groups and enchantments and spells to do it on people, they know what's up. They know what's up, and you're gonna see it. But what I'm trying to tell you is this: when you see flyers or familiar faces amongst the groups of covens, occultists, gang stalkers, these people, like when you start seeing familiar faces and it starts saying RIP and people start dying, when you start seeing that, because you know what's going on, you being targeted, you being what? Light dark. Those in the dark, they coming out. Those who trying to do what they doing. You trying to stay humble. You stay humble through it all, but you know it's spiritual, right? But when you see what you see, because you ain't doing the work that they doing, see? Because it ain't your fight. But when you see what you see, just do this. Just do this. Don't laugh. Don't make a sound. Don't talk. Just do this. Romans 12:19. Vengeance is God's. See, that's the thing about people who don't understand this. When they're trying to do black magic, when they're trying to do witchcraft, when they're trying to do spells and sorcery and do whatever it is that they're doing. Even when if they listen to narcissists and gossip, but they want to start paying money or doing things to people, you have to understand something. The work is going to go back to you. Especially if you're just doing it to just anybody. It's going back to you. And if it doesn't get you, it's going to get your loved ones. It's going for your loved ones. And those in the dark, their little covens, those in the group that do they doing the stuff that they doing on the low to people out here. They just picking targets. They're trying to just group up and send magic and spells. And some of these people who's doing what they doing on the low thinking they low with it. Some of these people got families. Some of these people got kids. Some of these people do have loved ones, but they still try to do things to other people and thinking, you know what I'm saying, that nothing's going to come back to them because they've been so used to getting away with a lot of things. But when it comes to certain people, that's what I'm saying. You just can't pick on just anybody. So when these groups and these people start picking on a certain person just because of how they looking, and all of a sudden, you still going about your day. You're going through your spiritual warfare just like everybody else because you ain't perfect. You battle what you battle with too. But you stay humble. You're not doing witchcraft on people. You ain't doing evil eye on people. You ain't wishing death on people. You ain't gossiping about people. You ain't forming groups on a one specific person. You're not trying to ruin somebody's life with magic or with your words. You're not doing these things. But there's groups and there's people who do these things, and they are forming groups to do it on innocent people. See? They do these things to certain people. Some of them get away with it. Why? Because some of these people ain't spiritually protected. They don't know what's up. Or there's certain people who don't know that there's certain people, either they got a relationship with God or God himself is working on that person's life. And God knows through everybody's life. Nobody's perfect. So God is dealing with this person's life. God knows their mistakes. He's working on their life. My son or my daughter, they're on this road. I already see their life from when they were born to where what I have for them. That's God, right? And I know the mistakes they're going to do, the battles they're going to face, this and that. But my hands is on their life. So I know the struggles they're going to go through. I know I know the battles they're going through. But I know that my child and my daughter is not going to do witchcraft, magic spells, and all this on people. They're not going to wish evil or death on somebody. But my hands is on on this person. See? So there's people who just want to just pick on anybody. But they don't know who's who. They don't know who got a relationship with God. They don't know who got a relationship with God. And they don't even know who God has his eyes and hands on a specific person working in their life through their ups and downs to get to where God wants them to go to. See, that's what I'm saying. See? So a lot of these groups, these covens, those in the dark, the lowest. These people got families. These people got loved ones. These people who do what they do on the low, whether they have families, they have kids, they have loved ones. Even though they accept the money or they spraying candles and they enchanting and they wishing evil on people and they doing what they doing, and they're gonna be in your workplace, they're gonna be in your community, they're gonna be in your family. You're gonna see these people spiritually. I told you, once those eyes is open and once you stop looking at people as people, it's over. When you stop looking at people as people and see spirit, you're going to see a whole different ball game out here. But when you go into your community and you see the gang stalkers within the community, I told you, every place has their little secret covens and little groups, and they do what they do on the low. And they know what they do to certain selected people to try to do what they do. And they got away with a lot of things But there's certain specific people that they be like, uh-oh, see what I'm saying? When you do contracts and all this stuff, it gets real. There's deadlines. There's spiritual laws. So I'm saying, leave this shit alone. Don't just be picking on anybody. Because God got the final say. No matter how that person's life is looking, no matter what's coming out their mouth, God got the final say. God, the Most High, has the final say. Yes or no. God. Even whatever they enchanting, calling up, God created those spirits too. God created everybody from the flesh and from the unseen. So all of that too still got to answer to God. All of that. All of that. Still has to answer to God. Still has to get approval. Yes or no. God has the final say. God has the final say. I'm just letting y'all know. Stop playing with this stuff. And you are. Those of y'all, when you know you're going through your little gang stalkers, covens, you see all these people out here, when they form in their groups, they know what's up. I'm gonna tell it to you like this. They get real spooky. It gets real quiet. And they get the atmosphere starts to change a bit. You heard that? The atmosphere changes a bit. And it gets spooky for them. When they know what they're doing, don't get it twisted. They know those involved in these groups, even when the spirit monitor, they know what's up. But it gets spooky to them when they see you still walking, minding your business, still going along your day. And here you are minding your business, but all of a sudden, here you come looking at a flyer, and you seeing a familiar face, and it's saying R.I.P. And you know that familiar face is from the same or a group of people that's part of a coven, a cult, doing whatever they were doing in the dark, and it affected somebody else. Niggas died behind this. Kids, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Stop playing with this shit. Stop messing with people. Stop it. Even with this group, stop it. Because niggas die behind this. And if it don't get you, it's going to get your kids. It's going to skip you. It's getting your kids. It's getting your life. Something that you love, if it don't hit you, it's going to something that you love. If you're trying to dish out magic or spells or black magic on a specific person, whether you paid for it or you doing it yourself, when it backfires and when it returns, if it don't get you, it's getting, and it never misses, is getting something you love. You love. So I keep telling women too, stop playing with this shit. Stop doing your little love spells. Stop trying to do what you're trying to do. Not all people. I told there's good, there's light, there's dark. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? People know what's up, but the ones that's in the dark that don't quit, that they don't stop, they know what's up. They seeing what's happening. But for you, a lot of you out here that's going through all of this, that's witnessing it, you seeing everything out here, right? You seeing everybody trying to send things your way. You feeling it from both sides. You know the spiritual warfare you went through. You see them coming out. You know that you got hit with stuff or stuff was trying to be sent to you. I'm trying to tell you, stay humble because God will show you how God still protects you, fights for you, defends you, even when you don't deserve it. Because I don't deserve it too. None of us do. We don't deserve God's protection, His mercy, His grace. None of us. Even those who still look up to Him and seek Him, we still don't, because we still mess up. I know I do. I know I do. I still mess up. I still mess up. I ain't perfect on this walk. But you'd rather follow somebody who lets you know exactly, I still call on to God, even though I ain't perfect on this walk, to let you know through experiences, but still seek the Most High, still seek God through it all, because God ain't never going to let you go. Rather than a person who's going to be there and speaking how they speak it and never say they wrong or even talk about the wrongness. Come on, man. But for those who know what they doing out here, for the darkness that they doing out here with their little groups, oh, best believe that people's dying out here and their loved ones is too. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. If you know who the groups are, whether you live in the community, wherever you at, when you know what's up, when you see and they see you too, and you walking and you start seeing flyers of familiar faces and you know they came from certain groups, and you know those groups started to come out from the dark to do their bullshit, and you start seeing certain faces, You ain't wishing, you ain't saying nothing. Just do this. I promise you the atmosphere changes when you come on the scene. Let's say you want to commit, let's say there's a block party in the community, right? And there's gang stalkers, all the covens, all these in this group coming up, right? Remember my last video I told you that wherever you go, wherever you live at, wherever the workplace at, there's always a small little group of people who do what they do, right? Which is more like the little small groups, but because God is here, the light when it comes, and when you expose, and when you talk, they lose power, and you start seeing how they start scattering out here, right? Okay, cool. Those who start trying to do what they do, for those of you, stay humble within it too. I'm just trying to let you know, as you walking in your community, when you start seeing flyers and you start seeing familiar faces and you start seeing the same faces of RIPs to the same groups and covens and people who were gang stalking, those who came on the dark, those who witches, when they come, the atmosphere changes. I'm gonna tell it to you like this. Let's say you coming in, doing your shopping, went throughout your day, because you ain't bothering nobody, right? You in and out, point A to point B, right? Or you just want to get fresh air, do what you do, right? Now you're going into your block, your neighborhood where you live at, right? There's always good and there's always bad in every neighborhood. Good and bad from both sides. And they both come out when you have spiritual eyes to see. Stop seeing things with your naked eye is what you see. So you see from everything, from both good and the dark. And they all come out and they see you too. And those in the dark, from within the group, they come out and they try to do what they did to you or what they do, and then they see stuff is not working. Then they start seeing that people start passing away. Like when you see what you see, and when niggas start getting hurt, it's a whole. Let me tell you, it's a whole different ball game. When you went from point A, and now you coming back onto your neighborhood, right? And as you walking back into your neighborhood, now all of a sudden there's a block party. But this is not an ordinary block party. Now you see everybody that's coming out. Everybody that's coming out is part of this. You can feel the frequency, right? Boom. But at the same time, there's like this weirdness that people's giving you. And you can feel it. You don't know what's going on. You thinking, okay, I just see a whole bunch of people. But you feeling the atmosphere. You watching the eyes. You seeing those gravitating to you. And then you seeing the toxic ones, the narcissists, the energy vampires, the occultists, the darkest, the witches. You seeing through it all. Feeling it, seeing it. Because they can't get away. Tactics don't change from people in the groups. They're all going to expose themselves. You're going to feel it. Here you are going into your community to go into your apartment just to, because you just went throughout your day, minding your business, but you're seen as a group, right? The atmosphere shifts. All those involved in this. Why? All those involved in what they were doing, the groups came out. The covens came out, the occultists, the dark witch warlock, the groups came out. Especially the person who tried to hit you with working spells, they come out, of course. Why? Because you minding your business, going into your crib, you don't even know that all those people that's there is there because there's a death. Not even a group party, it's a death. And here you come, as you walking, you looking at a flyer. As you're going into your lobby, there's a picture in the lobby, RIP, a familiar face, and you're like, oh, snap. Whoa. But the mother of that person is the one that's doing the witchcraft and doing the spells and trying to send it part of that little group, but that person got kids. You see? But you just do this. You hear the phone? You hear the phone? See? Monitoring spirits. See, look, see, they gotta listen, they gotta start calling now. See? Y'all heard the ringtone just now. Out of the blue. Monitoring spirits, they're listening. See, now they gotta transfer to that information because it just got real. See? You see? I heard the ringtone on cue. But you looking at the flyer. And you like, oh, snap. I recognize that person's face. That's such and such's child. You see, y'all niggas better stop playing with this shit. Men and women, if you got kids and you dibbling and dabbling and you trying to send magic to people, black magic spells, and you part of a covenant group and you doing what you're doing and you thinking you getting away with it, whether you paying for it, doing it yourself, throwing that shit in the sea and all this stuff, you don't know who's in charge, man. You don't know who God is working on. You think God ain't gonna answer? You think God ain't gonna protect? God sees everything. God sees everything. God sees every witchcraft. God sees every black magic. God hears every prayer from both from light and the dark. God hears every prayer, whether you're speaking it or through your mind when it's quiet. God hears everything from out shouting and in silence. The devil only hears from the shouting, not from what's going on in the silence. But God hears from the silence and when you shout. See? So God sees and hears everything. Stop playing with this shit. Stop playing with this shit. If you got ill intent, malicious intent to do it on somebody, you don't know who is who. And God is going to intervene. People die behind this shit. People die behind this shit. They do. They do. And if you're a person who has children and people close to you that you love, and you out here doing your bullshit, doing black magic, either paying it, or you trying to do work on somebody yourself or paying for it, and or you have a group of people and you're like, yo, I gotta do this work on somebody, and you know you got children and you know you got people you love, but you out here with your little covenant group and you like, yo, I gotta do something on this person over here. I'm gonna pay for it, doing it on my own. You don't even know who you're trying to do it to, but you got kids, loved ones, and all that. God laughs at the wicked, right? God already sees the heart motive of the person who wants to do the black magic, the work, and spending. God already knows. He sees all. God sees it and feels everybody's motives out here. And you're going to try to do this work, God's going to laugh. Because those same spirits or whatever it is that they're going to try to conjure up with their little ritual, they dance and they sacrifice and they blood and enchantments, those spirits still going to answer to God because God created them too. God created from the flesh and in the unseen. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. God created everything you see in the flesh and everything that people do not see, that those in the ones with the spiritual eyes see. God created from the unseen to what you see. God created it all. And God's in charge of it all. And even in the unseen, still got to answer to God first. And God still hears it. And God still says yes or no. Huh? So if you out here trying to do work and you got children and you got kids, you have kids and you got family, you got those that you love, but you out here trying to do grimy shit with people with your little groups, stalking and trying to do your little prayers, and you think that shit ain't gonna catch up to you, I'm gonna tell it to you like this. I promise you this. It's coming back to you, and it always does. But if it don't get you, that shit's going to your loved ones. It is. It is. If it don't get you, it's going to your kids or something you love. You heard that when I said that. It's going. Stop playing with this shit. But for those of y'all who's experiencing all this warfare and you see what you see out here, as you're going throughout your day, when you see these flies and you start seeing these faces and you start seeing what's seeing, and God is laying hands. Don't laugh. Don't joke. Don't be cocky and all this stuff. No. Just do this. That's all you do. Because it ain't no joke out here. I told you who's following me. I know I ain't perfect, but I told you this. Never laugh at somebody's pain. Never laugh at what somebody's going through. Because God could easily reverse that shit. God could easily reverse it. And I'm sorry, God could easily reverse that. Stop playing with God. And I know none of us is perfect because I'm not. We all go through our battles. And this is why I keep thanking y'all for following me, because I'm going to keep it real on this page and this channel. Even through my spiritual warfare that you see out there. To show you what's up. It's real. It ain't fake. It ain't fake. It's real. But God is real too. And God don't play about his kids. And God don't play about whoever he's working on this person's life. Whoever God has his eyes on, let me tell it to you like this. Whoever God has his eyes on, Whoever God decided to lay his hands on this person to choose whoever he wants to work with, God, right? Because nobody like, oh, pick me, pick me, pick me. No, no, no. This ain't fun. I'm telling you, it ain't fun. It ain't fun. None of this is fun. I'm gonna tell you, it's not fun. It's not fun. Going through all this, it's not fun. It's not. But when God got his hands on a specific person, man or woman, and he has his eyes and he's doing a progress in this person's life with it, and these groups or whoever he has his hands and eyes on, they didn't even ask for this, but God is still gonna do what God is gonna do. But there's certain people you be like, yo, leave them alone. But then here comes all these groups that want to start messing with these people. And now you're going to start seeing what you're going to see to these people who start to mess with this individual. That's because it's God. God's in charge of it all. So don't be surprised when you start seeing people start dying, or you start hearing things from certain groups and people, familiar faces, RIP to certain faces. You're the one. Now here you come, walking into your community throughout your day, but you see all the people outside, all the witches, all the warlocks, all the low energy people, all those that's part of this group that's been doing it for so long in the community and all this stuff. Here they come, and you're thinking this is just a block party. No, this is a RIP to somebody from their group that just passed away, and the energy's off because now you see all the people looking at you on some shit that is like, ooh. I'm telling you, you're gonna see it. You're gonna feel it. You're gonna see it. And you minding your business, you don't even know what's going on. You over here thinking, okay, this is a block party. But your discernment, you seen all the energy, the tactics don't change from people what you see. But this ain't a block party. This ain't a specific party type party. No, this is somebody from their covenant or code. This is a death. This is a death from somebody in the dark that trying to do their little bullshit witchcraft spells on people. The gang stalkers, monitoring spirits, familiar spirit. Those in the dark that try to do shit on people. There's a death within them. That's why they all came out. And that's why the energy felt off, and that's why they're looking at you. Or you felt like, what the hell? But the wind don't change. God is always there. The wind don't change, so they know what's up. You don't know. You like, yo, what the hell's going on? And you still minding your business, staying in prayer, but you seeing what you're seeing because the tactics don't change. And here you come going into your building. Now you see a flyer. Now you see a flyer, familiar face, RIP. You like, oh, you just do this. Because I told you, recognize the faces. The faces don't change within the group. What you see is what you see out here. Don't forget the face. The tactics never change. Those in the dark, you're going to feel it on people too. So when you see what you see with flies and all that, you just go do this. Don't laugh. Don't do nothing. Just be like, ooh. Ooh. God ain't playing. Romans 12:19. Romans 12:19. Romans 12:19. Vengeance is God's. And this is why I'm making this video. To a lot of y'all who's being gang stalked, a lot of y'all who's going through this spiritual warfare. When you see, I want you to stay humble. That's what I'm trying to tell you. When you see what God is going to show you within the group, because there's people who you won't even hear from. You might have an altercation with somebody, even within my videos. You might have an altercation with somebody. There's some stuff that you might see or you might go through. I promise you this: you will either never see these people no more. You're either gonna hear, or you're gonna see on a flyer, or somebody out there is gonna be in a wheelchair. You're just gonna see stuff, hear stuff. It ain't no joke out here. But when you see those of you who's going through what you're going through and staying within the light because you know what's going on, and they do too. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Because I know when you see a flyer and when you see what you're seeing, you might be like, huh, yeah, this one deserves. Don't even say this one deserves this and that. Don't come up. Don't say that out your mouth. Yo, this one deserves. Nah, just do this. Just do this. Just stay quiet. Because even they know what's up. They know what's up. That's why within that group, they're looking at you a certain way. They're like, and that's why I keep saying, stop messing with this shit. Stop messing with it. There's an awakening happening. A lot of people's being aware about what's going on. They know it's all spiritual. This shit got nothing to do with this no more. It's all spiritual. You seen everything with the brain chips, the 5G, the 6G. Everybody's seeing what's going on right now with AI, defense. They see with the spiritual stuff that's going on. It ain't no joke out here no more. They getting hungry. They getting starved. They starving out here for the new supply. And the tactics never change. So all these groups, I'm trying to tell you, all these groups out here who's trying to do shit on the low, stop it. Because God, stop it. Either you gonna die, something's gonna happen to you. Think about your kids. Think about your kid. Yo, if you got children, and if you got loved ones, especially people out here who trying to do shit on people with kids, and you know you're going against spiritual, and you know you either paying somebody or you're trying to do something yourself, and you took somebody's picture and you're doing some enchantment. Yeah, you might get away with it. Why? Because the person you're doing it on is probably an atheist. A person ain't spiritual. So that shit might work. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's dangerous because you don't know who is who out here. And that's God keeps people camouflage. That's the thing. God keeps people camouflage. You don't know who's who out here. But a lot of these people get away with certain shit. Yeah, you think witches don't fight with witches? Of course, witches fight with witches. Warlocks fight with warlocks. Demons fight amongst other demons. Yes, this happens. Spiritual war is real. Demons fight with demons too. They do. Covens fight against other covens. Occults too. They don't want to tell you this. It's a war out here. But when somebody, no matter what they're going through, and they still looking up to the light, the Most High, Yeshua, Yahweh, no matter what, stop playing. Stop playing. Even if the person is doing all this content and they ain't choose this walk, and they're going through the spiritual warfare and they don't like it, and God don't care. Because God don't care if you like it or not. God picked you. God chose you. He's working in your progress. You can complain all you want. You can get mad like, grr. God don't care. Whatever God got planned for you, it's still going to prevail. Man or woman, you can complain and pout all you want. You can run too. It ain't no joke. It's not easy. It's not. None of this shit is easy. It's not. Spiritual awakening is not easy, man. Healing journey is not easy. Shadow work is not easy. None of this is easy. You ain't asked for it, man, but you're going through it. And you ain't asked for it, but you seen what you seen on here. Once these eyes is open, once you got the glasses on and you seen what you seeing what you seeing through people. And that's it. But stop playing. Because you got kids and you doing your bullshit, your kid's gonna suffer. If it skips you, your kid's gonna suffer, or you're gonna lose a kid. And you're gonna see it and you're gonna hear from it. Either, even if it's people in your job and they doing bullshit to you, you're gonna hear something from your coworkers, or you're gonna hear something that somebody died in their in the workplace, and you know that person was trying to do witchcraft on you, or sending stuff to you, and all of a sudden you hear somebody passed away from the workplace, somebody that they love, or something happened. You was like, you just do this. Here it comes within your community, and you know who they start to come out. And all of a sudden, they do what they do, but you stay in prayer. You stay locked in. You ain't perfect, but you ain't wishing evil, and you ain't doing death on people, but you still binding, rebuking, blocking, dismantling, reversing, returning back. Defense to the Most High with the spirits. You still doing that, but God still answers. God still fights for you, but you ain't wishing evil and death on people. So even within your community, you start seeing all those coming out. Now you're going to start seeing flyers in your community about people who recognize familiar faces within their group. And you be like, ooh. Outside, within your family, you be like, ooh. Somebody you haven't seen in a long time. Now they looking a certain way. You be like, ooh. It's no joke, man. It's no joke. It's no joke, man. Stop playing with this shit. Stop playing with this. But all I'm gonna tell you, all I'm gonna tell you is, God don't play. God fights for you. Romans 12:19. God fights for you. God fights for you. Everybody in the dark, narcissists, energy vampires, all those who's trying to come to you or whoever target to you, whatever it is, they know what's up. You're going to see the awkwardness in their faces and within their groups, and they try to look at you with this face and as you're walking. They know what's up. Those that do what they do, that they thinking they low, but your sermon's going to catch them. They can't get away with the actions, what they do spiritually. Even if people is blind to see that, they don't see it, but you see it and they know what's up. They don't get away with that. They don't. I told you, man. The one who can see, when you could, once you can see, it's over. You're the one that's labeled crazy. There's a smear campaign on you. They gotta form the group and be like, keep away from him or her. This was the problem. Don't attach yourself to this one. Why? Huh? Psst, stop playing, man. I just saw some shit today. That's why I did this video. I just saw something today. And that's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm doing this. Romans 12:19. That's it. Stop playing with the Most High. And this is all over the world. Niggas know what's up. But those of y'all who's going through what you're going through, when you see when God wants you to see, and when God starts to show you people within the groups that's trying to do stuff to you, and you start seeing what you're going to see because God is going to show you and let you hear it, stay humble and just do this. That's it. Don't laugh. Don't joke. Don't be cocky. Don't be like, good for these. Don't say none of that, man. You don't even mean it. Don't say none of that because you know what's up. It ain't no joke out here, man. In fact, you feel bad. You feel bad. Why? Because you understand what's going on with these spiritual laws. You understand now that you see, you be like, damn. I know what's going on out here, man. If you start doing evil, wishing evil on people, you don't know who you're doing it to. That shit gonna come back to me. That shit gonna come back to me on my loved one. Like, you understand once you start to see. So when you start to see what you're gonna see, because God's gonna defend you and fight for you, whether you don't deserve it. None of us do. I don't even deserve it. I don't. I don't. But I still say thank you for the day. Forgive me throughout my day. But thank you for my thank you. See what I'm saying? Nobody knows who's out, who is who out here. Nobody knows who got a relationship with God. Nobody knows what's going through your mental, how you talk to God. Like, that's between you and God or everybody out here. But that's what I'm saying. People just stop trying to just do it to just anybody. Stop it. And that's the thing. This is why people was getting hungry. You know why people was getting hungry? Because these are the content, the topics that's being talked about. There's an awareness going on now. And those in the dark that feed off energy and do the bullshit that they do, they starving because too many people's waking up to understand what's really going on. And now they're like, damn, I'm losing supply. I need more supply. Losing. This one's awake. This one's awake. Oh my God, the spirits, the angels on. I'm dying out here. I need more food. I'm telling you, when you start to see the thirst and the hunger on these niggas, man. I'm telling you, whether you know them or don't, you start to see them. The tactics don't change. I'm telling you, man. They can't hide, yo. That's the discernment that God bless. That's the discernment. That's discernment. But Romans 12:19, yo, vengeance is God, and you're gonna see it. I'm telling you now. Go into your community, especially with the group that's trying to do their bullshit. Go into a community when the whole group is out and there's a passing of one of their little group members that was doing their bullshit. Watch how the energy shifts and changes looking at you. They like, but you're still gonna see the tactics. They don't change. They're yawning, they're spitting because there's little ranks out here with the. But you're gonna see certain people who look at you a certain way now. But they know what they were doing. Those who's part of that, they know what's up. They just didn't expect like, oh shit. I told you, when you sign a contract, when you do a blood sacrifice, and you do a contract, and nigga, contract, hello, I need a soul. Someone's got to give. You did a contract. You gave me blood, man. Either it was your blood, you did an animal or human. There was blood involved, man. You did something. There's a contract. I need a soul. There's light and there's dark. Stop playing with this shit. And the one that the guy got his hands on, man or woman, niggas is trying to do work to get this one out of here, and it ain't working. There's a contract. I need a soul. Now they fighting amongst themselves. Covens fight amongst themselves. Occultists fight amongst themselves. They will kill each other. They will get each other out the way. Witches will fight with witches. Warlocks will fight with warlocks. Their little groups, they will split and fight amongst themselves. It gets real out here. They don't want to tell you that. They don't want to tell you that. They fight amongst themselves. They get desperate. They fight amongst themselves. They kill each other. Especially the other one, the one in their own group, they will betray that one. When the yo, you in this group, man, what's going on, man? You just, are you a liability, man? We gotta get this one out. Nigga, they fight amongst themselves. They kill each other. They cast spells on each other too. Or they do a vote. Get this one. You heard that when I said when they do a vote? Come on. They do a vote amongst their own little group member. Get this one out of here or murder this one. Stop playing. It's real out here. Stop playing with this shit. This got nothing to do with flesh. It's spiritual for this battling against flesh and blood. All I'm trying to tell you is when you, knowing the spiritual warfare you going through, when you start seeing, because God is going to show you. God is going to show you. God is going to let you hear it. God is going to let you see it within their groups or within flyers. When you see it, knowing the warfare you going through, stay humble at all times. Because I know the warfare could be like, and you want to get that, like, you want to get that, like, go for your mother. Like, I know it want to come out your mouth. I know. You be like, because you go through some stuff. I know. Nobody want to talk about the warfare you go through. I know. I understand what you're going through daily with the energy vampires. When they thinking they're trying to team up on you and you looking like you so lost. I know. And you want to get that, like, yeah, that's what I understand. I want to come out your mouth. Like, but still, do this. Don't laugh at them. Don't laugh at their pain. Don't laugh at what they lost. Just do this, man. I promise you this. Just do this. Because God's still watching. Just do this. Let them deal with that pain. That's their pain. That's their bullshit. Leave it alone. But God's just showing you. So those who want to just keep trying to do what they're going to do, niggas is going to die behind it. Just do this. Because you got to understand, they thinking they're going against you when they start looking at you, but they fighting God, yo. They're all fighting God they fighting God. They fighting God. I don't care how you looking. You probably have a blunt in your hand. You probably still listen to circular music. You probably drinking beers, and you look at how you looking at certain people like, yeah, but look at here. Happens to me too. I know. But God don't care about that. God cares about this. Who trusts him? Who goes to him? Who still has a relationship with God? That's why I love the story about the thief on the cross with God. Because nobody knows his story. The thief on the cross, nobody knows his story. I don't even know what he did in his life. Nobody knows what he did in his life. Everybody just knows this was a thief on the cross with God. But that thief knew who he was next to. I don't know his origin, his story. I don't know what that man did, but he knew who he was next to. And what happened to the other guy that was on the cross laughing? Ha ha, that crow came. See? So it don't matter. Energy don't lie. People know who's who, regardless of what you're going through. People could see it, feel it. It don't matter. If there was a thief who recognized who he was next to on the cross, best believe niggas feel the energy regardless of how your life is. You ain't perfect, nobody is, but people still could see it and feel it regardless because God is in control. Stop playing with God and stop playing with God's kids and stop playing with the people who God is trying, like what God is doing in their life, because God has his hands. He's trying to build this person up and he knows what they're going to go through. Leave those people alone that God is dealing with and trying to build them up. And it's not going to be the people within the church. It's going to be from the outside to do what he's going to do within them. Because even those in the church is going to get discomfort with the one that God got the hand on from the outside. I'm telling you, you're going to see it all. Wake up. Stop sleeping. Y'all know what's up already. But again, just do this. Romans 12:19. That's it. Romans 12:19. Romans 12:19. Romans 12:19.